Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the Los Angeles Dodgers beat the New York Mets 10-5 and advance to the World Series. Congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tommy Edman, my buddy, wins the NLCS MVP. You might be wondering, did he just say his buddy? My cousin, Jonathan Wise, is Tommy Edman's agent. I've never met Tommy before, but I did get the pleasure to speak to him and mainly plays first base, but also can play all around the infield. Alfonso Rivas, who is another client of my cousin, and both Alfonso and Tommy both played baseball with each other. Young, and they played with, my cousin's children, who are also my cousins, and so that's how my cousin became their agent. And I got to speak to both Alfonso and Tommy Edman on the phone when they were playing each other back when Tommy was still in St. Louis. Alfonso, I believe, was in Pittsburgh, and got to speak with both of them on the phone for 10 minutes. Got to ask them my own questions that I had for them. It was really cool. And so watching this series as an Astros fan who these last 7 years has been basically born to hate the Dodgers, right? I found myself rooting for the Los Angeles Dodgers in this series just because of Tommy Edman. And for me, it felt weird. It really did. But in this game specifically, throughout the series, but in this game specifically, I really found myself rooting for a team I've disliked. I mean, I have another cousin who's from LA and is a Dodgers fan. This is actually a first cousin, and me and him have been messing with each other for years about the Astros and Dodgers. So for me to root for the Dodgers, it's very new and weird for me. But being a fan of Tommy Edman and getting to talk to him and knowing how close of a relationship he has with my cousin, Jonathan, it's awesome to see him have the success. Not just the team moving on to the World Series, but mainly the success he had in this series, going 11 for 27 in the series, having 11 RBIs in the series, which was the most out of everybody. I mean, Shohei Ohtani was great in the series, hit a couple moonshots, had 7 RBIs, had a buttload of walks. Shohei was great. I think he could have been a choice for the MVP consideration for sure, right? But I mean, Tommy Edman was way better. I mean, he was knocking in the RBIs. Even though Shohei did have his fair share of RBIs, Tommy had more RBIs. This final game, Tommy was huge for them. He had 4 RBIs, hit a home run, knocked in the first 4 runs of the ball game. So he was really big for them in this in this game and this entire series. 7 RBIs in the first 5 games, 4 in the last game. So a spectacular series for Tommy Edman, and definitely. I felt honored to be able to have a conversation with Tommy Edman when he was just a player on the St. Louis Cardinals. It's not like he was a bad player on the Cardinals, but he was a solid player. Wasn't really the Cardinals weren't really making a lot of noise in the postseason. He was a little bit underappreciated. So just imagine, being able to, see him have this success in the postseason. So it's just, really happy for him. And, I know that my cousin Jonathan actually was in New York for some of the games in New York. So really happy for him too, because, I know he's been, watching Tommy play baseball practically, I think, since he was a kid. Since, he played with his son. But that's enough of Tommy Edman. As much as I love Tommy, let's talk about this game. The Dodgers win this game. They're moving on to the World Series, winning 10-5 against the Mets. I'm gonna do what the Dodgers owner did and talk about the Mets a little bit. He talked about how good of a playoff run the Mets had. I mean, give some credit to the Mets. I mean, there were so many times this year where the Mets thought their season was over. I mean, there were multiple times where they were more than 10 games under 500. I don't think anybody thought they would get to this stage. I don't know if anybody thought they'd get to the stage of being a wild card team, yet alone being in the NLCS stage, going up against this Dodgers team, taking them to 6 games. So if you're a New York Mets fan and you're disappointed in your team, please don't be disappointed in the Mets. I'm sure it's upsetting that they're going to not, be going to the World Series, especially to face your rival in the World Series. But every New York fan should be proud of their team. I'm not gonna say I'm proud of the Mets, but because I'm not a Mets fan, but it was definitely an honor to get to watch them this season, the regular season and in the postseason. So great year, great regular season and great postseason. But the regular season was very fun as well. But yeah, all right, 10-5 is final score. 11 hits for both teams, 1 error for the Dodgers, 0 for the Mets. Win goes to Casaparius. He's 1-0 in the series now. He went 1 1/3, 2 hits given up, 0 earned runs, 0 strikeouts, 1 walk. Loss goes to Sean Manaea. He's 2-1 in the year now. This was really his first, not 2-1 in the postseason now. This was really his first, bad game of the postseason. I mean, he's been lights out in the postseason against the Phillies and the Dodgers, and this was his really first struggle of the postseason. That's his, third or fourth start of the postseason. I believe that's his third, but it might be his fourth. 2 innings, 6 hits given up, 5 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. But eventually, this Dodgers lineup was going to get to him. He was lights out, and back in Game 2, just didn't couldn't see the Dodgers lineup not being able to get to him again, or not being able to, I didn't see this Dodgers lineup, being unsuccessful against him twice. Save goes to Tryman. His third save, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits given up, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts, 0 walks. Scoring summary: Pete Alonso in the Mets did go on the board first when they in the first inning had a infield single for Pete Alonso. Lindor scored in the error. It's 1-0. But then there he is, Tommy Edman, first inning RBI double to left. Ohtani scored. Teoscar Hernandez scored 2-1. That's another player on this Dodgers team I do like, Teoscar Hernandez. Glad to see him going to his first World Series. Definitely deserves it. As an Astros fan, I think that's probably one of the top 3 Astros players. I think I always regret that the Astros got rid of. Such a special player, and instantly became a great player after the Astros traded him to Toronto. But glad he's getting to the World Series stage. But yeah, he scored a run off of the Edman double, and he also scored a run off of the Edman home run. Edman's only home run of the series for the MVP. Home run to left center, 406 feet. Teoscar Hernandez scored. It's 4-1. Then the second 2-run shot in that third inning, Will Smith gets it going. Home run to center, 416 feet. Muncy scored 6-1. I mean, he was okay in the World Series. In the series offensively, but if they can get him really going in the World Series offensively, it's going to be dangerous for this Dodgers offense. Then Mark Vientos with a home run. He's been on fire this postseason and the regular season. Really started to turn into a star, but he had a home run. 401 feet. Alvarez scored 6-3. Then here comes Shohei Ohtani, RBI single to center. Smith scored 7-3. Alvarez hits a sacrifice fly to right. Taylor scored at 7-4. Mookie Betts hits a RBI double. Taylor scored Ohtani to third. It's 8-4. Teoscar Hernandez with a RBI single. It's a sac fly to right. Ohtani scored 9-4. And then you would see Kiki Hernandez RBI single to right. Tommy Edman again scored a run. Muncy to third, 10-4. Jeff McNeil with an RBI single to right. Taylor scored. Shohei Ohtani did go 2 for 4 in this game with 2 runs scored. He had a single in the first inning. He had a single for an RBI in the 6th inning. He had a walk in the 8th inning. He was DHing, of course. Mookie Betts went 1 for 4 with his RBI double, like I mentioned. He also had a walk in the 4th. He had a great series as well. Teoscar Hernandez, 2 for 4. Scored a couple runs, hit an RBI, hit a single to right in the 3rd. First inning single to center in the 1st. Tommy Edman, the man of the hour, 2 for 5, 2 runs scored, 4 RBIs. Started off his first 2 at bats with a RBI double, 2 RBI double and a 2 RBI home run. And then his final at bat, he was able to score a run in his final at bat because he got on base because of a fielder's choice. Mookie Betts was out at home, and then he scored after he got on base because of that. So he didn't have it was considered an out, but he did reach base and did score a run off of that. But so yeah, that's nice for Tommy as well. The rest of the lineup outside of the top four, who were the main consisters of this lineup: Shohei, Mookie Betts, Teoscar Hernandez, and and Tommy Edman. Max Muncy went 0 for 2. He did score a run. Max Muncy was getting on base outside of not getting hits, had a couple of walks, was hit by a pitch in the 7th. Kiki Hernandez went 1 for 4. Had a walk in the 1st, had an RBI single in the 8th to score Edman. Andy Pages wasn't good, went 0 for 5. Will Smith went 1 for 3, hit a 2-run blast in the 3rd, had a 6-inning walk. Chris Taylor was good. He was really, outside of the top 4 hitters, if you look through hitters 5 through 9, he was really the only 5 through 9 hitter to have a good game. Chris Taylor 2 for 3, 2nd inning single to left for Taylor, and then he sacrificed in the 6th inning, and in the 8th inning he had a single to center. He scored a run in this game. And this was a bullpen day for the Dodgers as well. Still got the win on a bullpen day. So great win for the Dodgers, 10-5. As of the World Series starts Friday. As there are 2 teams that I hate in the World Series, in the Yankees and the Dodgers, this was the matchup I wanted. Even though I disliked both of the teams that we're going to see in the World Series, I think about last year with the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, and I think about what a poor series it was last year. It was not entertaining at all, and I don't want that. And this is entertaining. No matter if you dislike the teams, the Dodgers, Yankees, just like I do, it's going to be entertaining. I mean, you got the hottest, offense in baseball this year in the Dodgers with Shohei and Mookie Betts and maybe Freddie Freeman. We'll see what his health looks like. Tommy Edman recently. They got Teoscar Hernandez. I would normally say Max Muncy, but he's not. He's been a little bit inefficient. But even if Max Muncy's not playing great, Kiki Hernandez has been incredible in the playoffs. So this Dodgers lineup, with some of the pitching they have, Yamamoto, Jack Flaherty, going up against the Yankees. Offensively, you have Soto, Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, who's just been killing it in the postseason. Some other guys in their lineup who are really successful. Not as big as Stanton or Judge or Soto, but other guys like Gleyber Torres or you have Anthony Volpe. There are other guys in that Yankees lineup who've had a good year, but just thinking about the guys at the top. It's a matchup wise, I think it's a great series. You got the Yankees pitching with Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Luis Gil. There's some great pitchers on the Yankees staff as well. It's going to be an entertaining series. I don't think you have to worry how a couple years ago, last year with the Diamondbacks and the Rangers, it was a crap series. This is going to be a great series. I don't know if it's a 7-game series, but I don't see it. It's a 6 or 7 game series, and it's a good series regardless. It's going to be way better than last year. Way better. And last year, the one thing I always say about last year is we saw the 2 best teams in baseball get eliminated in the championship rounds. The Astros losing to the Rangers and the Phillies losing to the Diamondbacks. And that's why we saw such a poor World Series. I think if we would have saw the Phillies and the Astros in the World Series, would have been a different story last year. This year, I believe we were seeing the 2 best teams in baseball going at it. So I expect a good series, just like we saw in 2022 when the Astros and the Phillies, I believe the 2 best teams in baseball went at it in the World Series, and it was definitely a great series. So I'm expecting a great series. As of for who I'm going for, I just like both teams, but there's only one team that I have a personal connection to, and that's the Dodgers with Tommy Edman. I also look at other players like Teoscar Hernandez, who I really like. I like Shohei Ohtani as well. Would be nice to see him win a World Series. I really love Juan Soto for the Yankees, but there are more players I like on this Dodgers team than I do the Yankees, and I think that's the big thing of who you're going to root for. So let me know your thoughts on the game as the Dodgers have won 10-5 and advance to the World Series. This will be the first time the Dodgers are playing in the World Series in front of their hometown fans since 2018 when they lost the Red Sox. I'm not saying that 2020 doesn't count, but definitely wasn't in front of any fans. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out.